Hey everyone, welcome to the Canine Culture Podcast, where we talk about everything dog. Q&As with veterinarian professionals, rescue operators, everyday topics. We cover everything dog on this podcast. So make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media on both Instagram and Facebook. Thanks again for listening. Now here's that next episode. Hey everyone, this is your host Brittany, and today we're going to be talking about the most common signs of arthritis in your dog. So just to start, what is arthritis? It's a painful condition where the joint cartilage and joint fluid start to deteriorate. Could be like a degenerative joint disease, which means inflammation of the joints. Could kind of just be the bones rubbing together whenever your dog is walking, running, or playing. And ultimately, arthritis leads to inflammation and can reduce overall joint mobility. Ordinarily, you see arthritis develop as dogs get older, kind of like in people, that degradation appears over time, kind of just builds up. It's a progressive disease. And it affects about 1/4 of dogs of all ages. So some of the symptoms of arthritis to kind of be on the lookout for. The first one is limping. So if you see your dog limping, especially if it's in more than one leg, depending on how long it's been going on, it might cause you a visit to the vet. You might just want to be sure that it is arthritis, maybe not something else that could be more serious. And if it is arthritis, just getting ahead of it, making sure you're getting the dog on supplements or any other medications that they might need, making sure you're catching that early to give them the best quality of life. The second symptom would be stiffness. So if you notice your dog's taking a little longer to kind of get up and get going, whether it's in the morning or after a long nap, that could be another symptom of arthritis. Next symptom of arthritis is irritability. So overall, your dog is just not as happy as they once were. They seem to be bothered a little bit more. Maybe when you're petting their back, they're more tense or they lash out. That could be a symptom of arthritis as well. Next thing to think about, if they're very tired, they're more lethargic than normal. Granted, these could be symptoms of a number of different things, but one thing to kind of think about, especially if it is contemporaneous with another symptom, is that it could be arthritis. Another symptom that's sometimes overlooked is excessive licking or unusual licking. So if you notice your dog kind of licking their paws a little bit more, maybe licking some spots a little bit more, it could be merely out of pain. And they're just trying to ease that pain. So whether it's pain from arthritis or another ailment, that is a symptom of usually just pain in the dog in general. So a painful area, and they're kind of self-calming themselves. Of course, one of the more obvious symptoms of arthritis is difficulty moving. So they can't jump as high as they once did or as far as they once did. They can't go on that long walk like they once did. They have to take breaks or they lay down. Maybe they're not running as much. Could be a symptom of arthritis, probably the most obvious of them all. So while arthritis is not curable, it is important to try to nip it in the bud, like I said. So there's a number of supplements that the dogs can take. There are physical therapists that specialize in this and making sure your dog keeps their mobility or is as mobile as possible. And then just some different things you can do at home to make them more comfortable. So orthopedic beds, ramps, stairs, and then with respect to going to your vet, like I said, going to the physical therapist, running them through those, acupuncture, laser, and then some of the supplements, glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, fish oil, all important and kind of helpful with keeping the pain and the mobility limiting factors down on arthritis. Some other things to think about if you think that your dog might have arthritis or if they do have arthritis. A big one is weight management. So just like with people, if you're carrying that excess weight, it's a bigger load on your joints, a heavier load than what they can take. And if you are lacking that cartilage or you have arthritis, it just is going to make it more painful and more difficult to move. So weight management. So, that would be a combination of your dog's diet as well as their activity level. With activity, Walking is great. Of course, you got to be mindful of the weather. If it's too hot, if the pavement is hot, if you have the ability to take your dog swimming, that's a very low impact way for your dog to get some exercise and kind of help that mobility factor. So if you think that your dog has some of these symptoms, maybe you're concerned that they do have arthritis, absolutely consult your veterinarian. They will be able to do some different tests and make recommendations based on your dog and your needs. And they can also just help you overall just manage the arthritis in the best way possible. So thank you for tuning in today to the Canine Culture Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you guys. As always, with any questions, please email us at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com. You can also send us a message through Instagram or Facebook. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you for tuning in to the Canine Culture Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to the Canine Culture Podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and make sure you're following us on social media. If you have any recommendations, any topics that you'd like to hear, if you know of any guests that would be good for the show, or if you yourself want to be a guest, please reach out to us. Send us an email at canineculturepodcast@gmail.com or send us a direct message on social media. Thank you for listening, and please share this with any of your dog-loving friends.